Hello and welcome, Cosmic Quantum Travelers, for another installment of the Cosmic Energy Update. I hope you're doing okay. I know it's a bit crazy out there, for sure. Basically, I want to just share a few bits and pieces, as usual, some navigational tips of what I see unfolding right now and what is becoming available. And yeah, let's see what comes up. So basically, massive DNA and crystalline grid activation, crystallization happening within our bodies, bloodline clearing, and also unification of the bloodlines is happening through the bloodline clearing, because we're all connected to the 12 original tribes, as they're called, or the 12 original master galaxies that have seeded humanity. And that's also connected to the 12 core DNA strands that we often talk about, or 12-dimensional spheres of existence. And it really is way beyond all of that, okay? But 12 is a blueprint. We know this as a tree of life, for those that do know this. I don't have any graphs with me today. I haven't prepared in that way, but I will share tomorrow on my page a few visuals that might activate, okay? But basically the tree of life, it's a 12-pointed sphere that sometimes in, for example, Kabbalistic religion, it's a 10-pointed tree of life, which basically is a representation of 2 strands missing. Okay, so it's not the tree of life we want to go for. We want to go for the 12-pointed tree of life. So again, I'm going to share a visual of that tomorrow on my page for those that are not familiar with this. So this is the core blueprint that we have activated with the 222-222 gateway. All right, this is a huge DNA activation. I don't know about you. For me, for the last 3 days, I haven't had so many body aches. It hasn't been so heavy on my body for a long time. So it's been really, you know, a bit of a drag, whilst it's all okay. So it's a deep purification as well as upgrades coming online right now. And it can be very heavy in your body, and also depending on where you're at in your journey. So some of us are just anchoring this right now on behalf of all the highest blueprints, and really reclaiming 48 strands of DNA, which is the Azrael blueprint, which is the first seeding of, you know, humanite form on life. And this is what we're reclaiming now. So, and we have reclaimed, it's done, okay? It's just a process of activating right now. So very, very good news, but it hurts a little, the rebirthing part. So let's just keep that in mind, okay? Throughout my journey, I'm doing this for actually over 11 years now. And I mean, I've had years where I was in bed, had different pains and aches. I knew what it was. It wasn't, you know, always the same thing. So it was really moving around my body, releasing all the density. A lot of it is also psychic attacks and entity harassment that I only found out later. And, you know, we have frequency interference and all of these things. So there is a lot that happens right now, as I've shared in an earlier post this week on the 23rd. Basically, what I saw happening on that day and around that time is, well, basically during the activation that I facilitated on the day, what I saw, and since then I'm seeing happening, is a total, full and final collapse of all artificial realities and their cause and effect. So we're clearing all these timelines. I mean, it's already been happening, but this is a full collapse now. So whenever I've been tapping into the field, it's literally just layers upon layers of any artificial frequencies, realities, programming being stripped from the consciousness template, really, because this is really beyond the planetary level, which I've tried to explain before, because again, it's all interconnected. The races that seeded us, which are us, also have distortions within the template that we're here to correct as incarnate in the human form. as we are also hybrids carrying, many of us carrying many different DNA strands from many different races. So as we are rehabilitating and healing our template, this is then also affecting the extraterrestrial races, because it's not just, hunky-dory on all the other dimensional levels. There's obviously a lot that's also happened or would be happening, because kind of future timelines, in a sense, would be, fifth, seventh dimensional Earth, where we had also catastrophes. It's all interlinked, it's all interconnected, and it's all quantum. So as we change in the present, the timelines, which we have now done, okay, the organic realities is fully anchored. And I understand that people don't get that. And they might ask me, but I don't see it. And why do you think that? I spend several hours a day, okay, most of my day in the field. I go within, I travel the cosmos within myself. This is how I access the information that I do. Plus, it's really my job here. So I work with the grids, I work with the stargates, I work with the planetary body and the human blueprint, okay, through me. And then through the work I share with you all. And I get a big picture overview. And this is what I'm sharing. Now, I'm a forerunner. And some people, and I've watched this now over the last year, especially, the different forecasts given by different people, we're way ahead of the schedule, okay? And I could see that happening and have been busy helping co-create that, okay? And other people are now coming on board with that. But what we really need to see is beyond all the timeline and predictions, okay, and where everybody might be at, because time is literally fully collapsing now, okay, because the old holographic matrix is built on time. That's the enslavement, okay, time is money and all of that stuff. So we have to transcend that altogether. Any kind of predictions, any kind of also expectations we have, for example, on the 22nd, massive amounts have happened. And since then, for the last few days, continue to happen, okay, behind the scenes, which I then share. Now, that's just what I've been shown. You don't have to agree with it. And I'm not here really to discuss it as such. It's just I'm sharing a message, and it might resonate, it might not. And we are all on different timelines. But let's also transcend time altogether, because we can really quantum leap and jump right now at person and at collective level. And at collective level, we already have, but we also still have to run our own individual timelines. So on a collective level, we have decided where we're going, and we're on a fast track. But on an individual level, we still need to make those decisions, because even with the activations that I'm facilitating, this is no free piggyback ride. You still have to do your work, obviously. So it's potentially helping a lot for the individual, because again, the template through the rehabilitation template and cosmic ascension template I'm carrying, it's easier for you to pick up those keys and codes as you're part of those activations. But ultimately, there still needs to be a shift in consciousness. It's all interconnected, but that's also why I'm sharing a lot in writing, and then now I'm speaking, because it's very important to get the consciousness on board and to transcend all the remaining layers of separation. Because really what I could also see happening through the 22nd activation, it's really emerging of the one consciousness. This is divine union. It's ascension. And what it is, it's polarity integration. And we have to integrate all of these different pieces and aspects of us, of the one, and everybody else is helping us do that. Yeah, by all the triggers and judgments that come up, we always get an opportunity to integrate another part of us, another aspect of us, okay? And I've talked about this before. I'm not going to go into the details of how we do that right now. And I think most of us know by now, about polarity integration. And one more thing I want to say, neutrality is not being just, you don't have any emotions, not at all. You keep the neutrality to 0 point. It doesn't matter what's going on, whatever you're feeling, okay? Even if you have a total breakdown, we all have breakdowns along the way. We break down to break through. And it's very important, actually, because we have to literally break down the 3D matrix within our consciousness, our body, bodies, you know, physical, mental, emotional. And it's not easy. Nobody said this would be easy. You need mountains of tenacity, belief, faith, you know, just not giving up. And ultimately, this is all about self-love, loving yourself. Once we really truly love ourselves, divine love within, we really do extend this out to everyone else. There will be a softness, there will be so much more compassion, but you also don't take the crap anymore because you love yourself so much. Okay, so again, divine love has very strong sense of discernment, crystal clear vision. It has boundaries, it has standards, and it has limits. Okay, neutrality is not a push over, oh, I'm just not going to say anything. Far from that. But what it doesn't do is that neutrality, it doesn't resist and it doesn't fight. Okay, so it's no holding on and it's no pushing back. Okay, because all is an energetic dance, and that's the 0 point field. It's the polarities unified through divine neutrality, divine love, but it doesn't mean we take nonsense. Okay, it's a balance. This is ultimately about balance, but it's also about knowing when to be what. Sometimes we do need to roar and be aligned, but we don't bite heads off. And it's ultimately all about the alchemization of everything that's going on in all the emotions. We need to be very mature right now, mentally and emotionally, of how we react. That's the accountability and responsibility that we carry, because the more we get, the more we reclaim and activate, the more responsibility we have, because we literally carry the film strip to the realities in our bodies, okay, as starseeds. All right. And as we activate and remember again, this goes out to the collective. So don't worry about them. We hold the keys and codes for ascension. This is why I'm talking to you. Okay. We need to wake up. Everybody else is helping us. And I mean, they are us, we are them, obviously. Okay. But we are more conscious in what we're doing here, and everybody's playing a different role. So don't expect them to be like you. That's not how consciousness works. So I hope that makes sense. I jumped all over the place. Probably forgot what I meant to say originally. Anyway, these are massive DNA activations. Okay, I can feel it. One interesting thing is temperature. When the plasmas come in, often we get hot and cold. But right now, I mean, it's still relatively cold here, end of February, and it's in Ireland. So it's, you know, we just had a little bit of kind of snowy weather type thing. But I'm not feeling cold anymore. And usually I'm very cold. So my body temperature is totally adjusting. Like I'm generating a nice level of heat, and I'm not constantly cold anymore. Like, and I don't have as many fluctuations. Also, changes and shifts that I'm experiencing is since the 1718s, and I've reported on this previously, where there was a lot happening within the field. I'm feeling so much more relaxed. I'm hungry again. I've had a lot of problems with losing weight over the last, I don't know, year or so, because when energies are so intense, and also because of the constant interference and frequency attacks, you know, just the frequencies make me nervous, and anxiety would be kind of the underlying kind of frequency, I guess. So I find it very hard to relax, and I'm finding it much easier now. The nervous system is totally adjusting and healing, and I'm hungry again, so that's great. And just in general joy. Now the last few days have been very heavy, as I said, and also what I've noticed, more energy overall, so less super exhausted and super like, you know, just lifting these mountains of shit all the time, like literally for years. Okay, I've been feeling exhausted, and I think some of us can relate here. So anyway, that has shifted, but obviously then since the 22nd, these upgrades and this massive, literally, it's a huge exodus of all negative aliens, entities, demons, demon seeds. And I mean, again, we've had layers of this before, but this is the final purification. This is all part of the event already in progress. And we're literally waiting for the finale fireworks, okay, right now. And it's starting. All right. I'm getting the 27th as a date at the moment to pay attention to. The sun has just woken up again. We have some massive sunspots facing. Now, I'm not focused on a solar flare actually coming from the sun as such. I think it's much more spiritual light because it doesn't come from our sun, but it comes through the sun, because these are stargates. But however and whatever may or may not happen, okay, you need to see by now that what we think may happen and how doesn't usually work that way. It's just like life, isn't it? We plan things, you know, there's a saying, man plans, God laughs, because we can make the best intentions. But again, we're not in control here. And that's the whole purpose, okay, of the teaching. And I've said this for months now, okay? We aim the arrow, we let go, we don't attach the outcome, we don't attach the dates, okay? We just make the best intentions, co-create the realities, but this is outside of time. This is about frequency. We have to transcend time. I can't say this often enough. Otherwise, it will always be now the equinox, then it's like some July date. I don't know what other events are coming up. That's why I keep saying this is in no time, okay? This is frequency, and it's constantly shifting. This is quantum. We've gone fully quantum. All right. Time is a coordinate. These are trigger dates. Okay, we still play with them. But ultimately, you need to transcend the notion of time and how long you think something is going to take. We're now in miracle time. We're now in literally timeline shifts all the time. Mandela effect, timeline glitches, matrix glitches. Okay, and I'm, again, still looking forward to it all. Totally going offline. All right. But we're literally there, all right? So it's just divine timing, divine right order. And however, again, that may play out or not. Who really knows, okay? And I don't really care to know, ultimately, because for me, again, the message has always been for these months, I don't need to know. It's about expecting the best. It's this, you know, embracing the uncertainty and waiting in childlike wonder. And of course, in the meantime, it's 144 here. You see confirmation. And in the meantime, we just get busy and we enjoy, and also obviously we transcend whatever comes across. All right. So to understand, even though all of this, not even though, because all of this is collapsing, all these artificial timelines, you know, we then all woke up, and was it yesterday, to the news that the Russia thing, okay. Now, first of all, a whole lot of nonsense, all right. They can't even make good drama out of this because we literally run out of fuel here. So ultimately, it's all the consciousness, okay. So beyond the conspiracies and what may go on different levels of truth and reality, at the highest level, we have all co-created this as one consciousness, okay? In order to squeeze the last bit of fear out of the collective, a little movie suggestion here, V for Vendetta, the ending of that movie, because that's where we're at now, okay? Where it just doesn't work as much anymore. And congratulations to the one that have not gone with the whole, you know, hijacking of their consciousness and jumped right into the next drama. Although it's fine, you know, I also, when I woke up, I was like, whoop, but then I went within, okay, and connected to my soul, my heart and source to tune into what's happening, truly, just to confirm, not to project my own, you know, wanting onto it either, but it's the timelines collapsing. That's why it comes right into your face. Fear, purge, transmute, collapse. That's why I said last time, get used to, like, go into the timeline where that happens. What's the worst thing? Get used to the worst case scenario. We need to get used to, again, worst case scenario, dying, for example. Once you transcended that, you probably don't need to die. And even if so, we've done it millions of times before. We've had, oh my God, I mean, we've had so many other lifetimes which have been a lot harder than this one. I remember. So I remind myself on that as well, although this is intense, just on a more mental, psychological consciousness level, because we're literally merging all of the timelines, all of the realities, all of our incarnate selves, all of our multidimensional selves into one consciousness, okay? This is beyond massive. This hasn't been done before. We're constantly co-creating this in every moment of what's next. That's what I'm being shown. That's why we cannot see as such. Although some things are said, but how quickly and how easy that goes, that's down to us. That's a very clear message I'm here to transmit, okay? going to a very good place. But again, individually, everybody has to sort out their own timelines. And how quickly, again, we hold the timelines now. Our DNA is the star seeds. Okay, depending on what you're here to do, what your mission is, we literally came here to manifest new earth. It's encoded in us. And this is going to come online now. Okay, I'm noticing already. I mean, so many light codes coming in as well, so many downloads. I know I'm already noticing a lot more power coming online. Okay, and we've just gone through a big integration of what was released on the 22nd. Okay, which is huge DNA activation and clearing all the shit. Literally a total body reset. All of our bodies. It's part of the blueprint reset. It doesn't just happen on one day, okay, people? But it happened on a day, but then it takes a while to integrate and then unlock. But it's going very, very quickly. So what I'm seeing right now is superpowers coming online. This is where the fun starts. Okay, and again, depending on where we're at, each one on their journey. All right. So more remembering. Huge DMT releases also. Oh my goodness, on the 23rd, I was just like, wee. It's really walking in a lucid dream, and we will feel more and more dreamlike. And that's exactly the point, because we are walking these high dimensions into this reality, in a sense, as in we're making the invisible visible by activating the DMT, which is the spirit molecule our own body activates in order to manifest the higher dimensional realities through our DNA and then project them into this hologram. This is not, that's why don't mind how this is a holographic reality. All right. Like, literally think matrix glitching, different realities coming up, and eventually, hopefully sometime very, very soon, it all going fully offline. All right. And the new coming online, because it's very much online. I mean, it was huge grid activations on its 22nd. There's a lot going on in Egypt. And there is, I can see Giza very much connected to the Emerald Heart Network. There's something held beneath. So I was involved in a lot of clearing there and activation. And there was like kind of a group there, led, like I think around 2,000 light workers, anchoring some distortions. But again, we are overwriting all of that now. It doesn't really, matter what they're trying to do. Of course it matters, but we are overwriting everything. It's like as if we now, before we were like, empaths, and we would always, be very influenced by the environment. So we would be kind of weighed down by the environment, and the environment would be overpowering us in a sense, energetically. But now we command the frequency of everything and anything we do now involved with, now guided to connect to. So the same as if we now walk into a room or we come across a narcissist, maybe we are the super empaths now who can read the situation, can read people. They don't fall for the gaslight and the manipulations anymore, okay? We are super sovereign, yet loving and compassionate, okay? And we take no nonsense. It's all of these things. It's the balance, all right? But we are now overwriting the frequency of us. We have now enough of us activated, okay, to hold the organic essential realities online. And everything collapses from that 0 point field, and also is co-created by us not resisting that reality. We're not scared of it, whatever is coming up. We just collapse these timelines in the 0 point field. But, it doesn't just happen in nothing. Like, in order to release anything, it's just like when we go through clearing, doesn't it have to come up and out? So they have to come up and out for everybody to see now what's really going on, all the manipulations, all the lies, all the corruption. Okay, that all of this doesn't make sense. So can you see how many that people are awake everywhere just because the news are not reporting on it? It's already happening. Okay, it's well underway. Nothing is stopping this. We're not going back to sleep. The spells are wearing off. This is all quantum clear in the last few days. Wow, what has cleared there? Massive. Okay. And again, I'm seeing Sunday as a very important day, 27th, UTC speaking. And I'm also guided actually to go on a little trip, a little mission and fun. I was talking about I would be on vacation by the end of the month. Well, I'm kind of making it happen myself, a tiny mini trip, and combine this with a little bit of magic work. And so that should be interesting. Now, let me carry on because I also need to get to bed at some point and actually get some sleep. So the most prominent activations happening is pure diamond white light activations, diamond flame activations, white light purifying everything. It's the cosmic mother and also straight from source, and also the aqua blue rays coming in to totally returning the blueprint to creation. Okay, our organic pure source blueprints are being returned to all of creation. Okay, everybody is getting healed and upgraded. Now, some individuals will be returned to source because their individual template is too damaged. But also on a bigger level, overall, okay, we all come from source. It's all being realigned for all the different races. And again, on an individual level, they still have to make the choices, but you know, even the reptilian races are getting rehabilitation, but they need to, you know, at an individual level, choose the law of one. Okay, they need to choose rehabilitation. So, and some of them obviously are not doing that. So they're going back to source, and also there are different levels of where everybody's kind of going to be allocated to. But ultimately, the way I'm seeing is, as long as your heart is in the right place, okay, and your heart is open enough, we're all going to ascend out of this matrix, okay? Just how far and high we will have access to different dimensional realities, that will be down to the individual template, because there still needs to be individual work and obviously aspiration to want to do the work, okay? It doesn't just happen for nothing, but we are doing this to get all of humanity freed from the enslavement matrix, this artificial hologram. So then, which is already happening, okay? It's just that it first happens energetically. Now we're seeing all the super purge already super fast, all right? It's a good sign. It's like, everything is in reverse. It's just this, when we are kind of sick or whatever, you know, or going through ascension symptoms, it's actually good. We're already healing, okay? The same as all the stuff coming up, it's a good thing. The same with the whole COVID thing. It's a good thing. It's accelerating everything, okay? It might be scary, but then fear, again, false evidence appearing real. What's really happening there at the moment, okay? Also, what can you trust of what you see happening? From what I've seen so far, looks like a very bad movie set. So don't fall for the gaslighting. Don't fall for the stuff. Now I understand that people get triggered because they still have trauma themselves. Okay, it's literally, this is trauma bonding at a mass scale. The more you can be aware of it, the more you can then maybe, instead of reacting and like having a bleeding heart, go within to try and heal it, whereas your own trauma being triggered here, okay? Because they're using this in order to extract negative energy from you that they exist upon, okay? Negative entities, they need this to survive. So know it for what it is. Is it even real? What of it is real? I mean, this is a movie, okay? We're about to wake up from. This is a hallucination, a mass hallucination. We just need to dream a different dream now, because this is a psychosis. This is not a good reality, okay? So we're now moving from polarity consciousness to unity consciousness. And that's also what these activations were about, because it's all interconnected again. It's divine union. As we are activating these 12 strands of DNA, okay, any moment now, collectively, again, we already assembled the blueprints, all right? And what I'm seeing is literally all the, because a lot of this, again, has to do with also the hybrid codings and all the hybridization trauma, okay, that went on with this, so reptilian hybrid codings. And it's basically clearing from the DNA and the new multidimensional DNA strands coming online. Like it's super hyper, like rainbow colored DNA, and it's triple helix, and it's also the fire letters are overwritten by quantum time codes. So it's the same as the tree of life. I don't even see this as a 12-pointed normal sphere, which is the base blueprint, okay? But it's more than that. It's literally 144 points, the divine template of the 144 strands of DNA or superharmonic strands of DNA, but they're all in juxtaposition and they're constantly moving, okay? Because it's quantum. In a sense. I mean, I wish I could make a mental picture, but I can't. I mean, a lot of things, can't find anything that visually halfway represents what I'm seeing. But anyway, what was I saying? What's going on is basically that all of these hybrid codings are being stripped, which then also represents all of the reptilians being removed or being quarantined, you know, or moved to different areas, because we are literally shifting. We have now shifted, or in the process of finalizing the shift to a new time-space coordinate. And it's literally what's happening within our own bodies. So it's our own staff, okay, our own vertical line. It's our meridians and nadis. And in the planet, it's like the chakra points and the sacred sites. They're all changing orientation and coordinates. And it's the same with the pole shift, okay? That's why it's wandering, because we have been feeding into a phantom system, black hole system, and now we're realigning with Andromeda, which is the Milky Way's original twin galaxy, which we should be aligned with, which is our true north, which is already happening. And we're all just clicking in. I'm fully aligned to that. And what we are waiting for is literally the final ignition or the final supernova of the heart. And I can feel it being like we are being prepared. It's literally what I can feel is like the fear of love, what is kind of preventing us at a collective consciousness level. That's kind of also still there lingering somewhere in the consciousness. Because we are afraid to be hurt, we are afraid to be rejected, and you know, have our hearts broken and all of that thing. So, but that heart opening, the collective heart opening, is the awakening. It's the stargate of the heart. It's the full activation of that blueprint, okay, that we carry on behalf of all. So most humans have a 12D blueprint. I'm also seeing strands 13, 14, 15, which are usually, they're also part of the 12-strand blueprint, but they're usually non-physicalized. They're also physicalizing, and it's a huge rishi activation. Again, it depends, and that's basically our pre-meta consciousness, okay? It's even beyond the avatar level, so beyond the Christ consciousness embodiment level, okay, which would usually be a consciousness field level of our identity that goes beyond the physical. But this is literally becoming physicalized now, the Rishi consciousness on the planet and through us. And this is also return of the Emerald Order, because what I'm also seeing is that Giza, with the activations happening, and it's been very much activating the Emerald Heart network of the planet, is obviously this is connected to the Emerald Order return, which is again also our higher aspects, and these are the founder races that have seeded us, and it's have created this time space continuum. So we're going kind of back to the start, okay? We are healing all the fragmentation, and we're healing now as the next step the different spiritual belief system groups, because there's been a split there at the highest level of the consciousness. And that then is reflected on all other levels. And it's also reflected, and I spoke about this before, within the Essenes divide, which were on in the time of the Christ. So it would be similar to, you know, basically the 12 tribes, and, you know, the core spiritual leadership for planet Earth, and really cosmically, because that one goes back to being split into different groups and not agreeing on things, let's put it that way. All right. And that being used by negative alien agenda. Okay, it's the divide and conquer thing, just at that level. And I can see that playing out within the spiritual community. I mean, I have for some time now, but ultimately I feel, you know, we are at a point where this is healed. I can feel it within my own consciousness, because I do believe I'm very much, you know, connected to what is happening with the one consciousness and where we're at within the ascension process. So I very much believe we're healing that original rift right now that exists. So anyway, I'm going to move on. Let's make this a little bit quicker. So all artificial timeline realities and frequencies dissolve. So they come up now as that happens. So we're anchoring super high frequencies, plasma activations, which are really re-encrypting matter. So also again, huge elemental matter clearing, which is what makes up matter. Okay, the elements, which we are also made of. And it's really a re-encryption of matter. Okay, so think about reality's shape shifting. Okay, that's why I've been shown through, again, our consciousness. All right. So this is literally final purification in progress. This is clearing everything. It's already the event. It's just a drawn out event. But I still believe there's a final blitz, full clearing of the old, bringing the old offline. Because again, this is a false reality overlay. And this veil, I mean, it's literally going to go in the right divine timing and moment when collectively we are at the right frequency for that. Any moment now. And so this is clearing all remaining distortions, reversals, artificial realities, and programming. So what we can see a lot is the whole programming of the old way we were thinking is totally shifting. Again, we're shifting consciousness, we're shifting coordinate, we're shifting from distorted polarity to unity consciousness. And that new consciousness and way of thinking and understanding we're all one and feeling it, because it's not really just thinking. I mean, it's oneness of thinking and feeling, okay? It's cognition, though. It's not trying to analyze it, what that may mean, okay? It's knowing we are one with all and that we're all interconnected. And somebody asked earlier on about, and if you comment about unity consciousness and the law of one. And the best way quickly that I would try and explain is what it means to me. I said, yes, there are a lot of distortions out there, especially with law of one teachings and all the people who were supposed to bring this back. In the quickest way to see it, it is like, you are not a me, or, you know, I'm not you, but you are another aspect of the great I am of source. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, everything is this and everything is consciousness. So we're connected to all things. We're also not separate from anything. We're not separate from AI. Okay, not that we're taking it with us, but we're ultimately not separate from it. It's still consciousness, okay, even if it's artificial. But it's still, that's what it all comes back to, is the consciousness. And when we merge into the oneness, which we have, okay, but it's also because what we're trying to do, and it's the tricky part, it's like you're the oneness, but you're also the individual. So it's the individualization. Also, Carl Jung speaks on this a lot. It's good to look that up in case you're wondering what it means, individualization. So it's really you know, getting to know thyself. Because once we know ourselves, we know our weaknesses, we know our strengths, we heal ourselves. And this is what all of this is about. Because again, us anchoring the highest level of frequency here is us being our true authentic self. That is us activating our multidimensional selves and all our quirkiness and you know, originality. All right, and it's constantly expanding. This is not one version that always stays there. That's why I was also saying highest divine blueprint available in this now moment. It's constantly quantum, okay, expanding, shifting, changing, upgrading. So is our consciousness. Nothing is stagnant, nor is truth. There are different levels of truth, but yeah, there are different core truths for sure. But I hope that makes a little bit of sense. So basically, as the programming shifts, which is belief systems, okay, programs are belief systems, and belief systems are repetitive thought forms, okay, that's why thoughts create matter, because it's literally the programs that its realities exist upon. As they shift, our reality shift in response. That's how this works, okay? That's what we're going to see now. I feel there's literally a big shift now imminent. Again, I've been seeing it shifting and changing, the whole time. A little bit on good news front, and in case people have not seen this, UK, they have already dropped all the mandates, and in Ireland it's as from Monday. I think it's literally, I don't know what's left, teeny tiny bits and pieces, but like schools back to normal and all of that stuff. So let us celebrate this. Okay, yes, I know they've come up now with another thing, but let's just collapse it. If you don't get triggered by it anymore, that's how it collapses. Okay, otherwise it has to come up. And obviously there are many reasons why things come up. These are collective experiences for everybody to work through the fear and again to see it for what it is. Okay, recode or decode, know what's actually going on. Don't see everything so literal. See it symbolic. What is it trying to show you? What do you want to, give it a different meaning? You shift your perception of it, and then what you're looking at is totally shifting from something scary or potentially scared to something, okay, I get why this is happening. And then this will go much quicker. The more we can see through all of these narratives and, decode them and then also recode them and override of what we want to happen. And this doesn't mean we try and control anything. Let's see, for example, the Canada thing, okay? Where I said, for example, we can see police hugging, the protesters and so forth. Even if that doesn't come true, although there have been some accounts, even if it would not come true, although I still see this as a long-term, whatever that might mean, thing happening, it's not about what happens in the meantime. It's literally the final outcome, just like anything you're trying to do, like, let's say manifesting a house or a job or a relationship or whatever, okay? You're not trying to figure out exactly all the little steps you need to do as you get there and what needs to happen for you to get it, okay? You focus on the feeling, the end result, and yes, you will listen to guidance to see what you can do to make it happen. But it doesn't come from control. It comes from inspiration and it comes from higher self-guidance. That's a huge difference, okay? And this is how we are doing this from the 0 point field right now. We are here to hold the organic timeline in place and collapse all these artificial ones, which are already collapsing, but they collapse quicker through us. Okay, so it's already happening, getting all the support we need. Now we just need to keep reminding each other and ourselves of that this is what's happening, and then override what you want to happen, which is new earth realities, okay, which we can quantum leap to. So stop thinking about dates, all right? Nobody cares. But again, there's like, when we have those dates, these are triggers, these are codes, okay, within the matrix. Plus you have all this collective attention. That was massive. Okay, the 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. We just collapsed all the artificial realities. And I get when people don't get that, but you'll see. That's all I can say. You'll see. You're already seeing it. You're just not interpreting it correctly. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But it might do in a week. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So we're on kind of slightly different timelines and frequencies here. Now, so we can look forward to no more manipulated timeline realities, interference. That's the organic ascension reality, where people can choose organically how, they want to progress in their life. Because this is not free will in a sense with all this programmed nonsense. Okay, so all these programs totally stripped, deleted. But if that would happen from one moment to the next, instead of it maybe taking a few days or weeks or whatever, people would go insane. Okay, so just divine timing, all right, just divine will, keep the highest vision of people, situations, everything to collapse in the most miraculous ways, okay? Highest outcomes for all. And yeah, that's clearing all the iconic AI programming and timelines and their cause and effect, because it's all interconnected. It's consciousness, it's the programs that create the realities. So ultimately it's thought forms we're clearing here, okay, and energy. Yeah, so we also really need to look within, okay? To truly see, we need to look within, not out there. That out there, it's like it's kind of a past, okay, that we're looking at, because again, energetically, we're way ahead of what we're looking at right now, in a sense, although time is speeding up, so the delay is much less. But really, I mean, what are you perceiving reality with? Just your normal 3D human senses? Are you using your superpowers? You know, when people don't see change, it's like you literally talk to me from a like 3D perspective most of the time. Okay, well, oh, but I don't see anything. Where are you looking? What are you focusing upon? And what are you co-creating? I mean, I certainly see change. Yes, it doesn't always look the way we might want it to. All right. But again, this is, I've been shown also, you go right to the edge, like right to the end. There could be war right outside my window right now. Okay. And I would still know any moment now the freaking gates of heaven are open. Okay. They already are within me. That's the whole thing. I carry already that reality within me. That's why I'm so assured of it. And that's why I'm so confident of it. I feel it. There is no more fear. Okay. But of course, if there's something comes up, and again, I also, when I woke up and saw this news, I was a little bit like, and it took me like an hour to, you know, obviously also collectively, we feel all these energies to transcend it and kind of organize it a little bit. Okay. And this is not a competition either. I'm just doing this for many years. So I know nonsense when I see it. And I know again what's happening beyond the veil, because I look with my superpowers of inner sight to see the real truth. Because if I would be looking out there all the time, I would be constantly facing the past. Okay, do you get that? If you look out there, you're facing the past. Look within, you're facing the future. And that's a very, very important point, actually. Because this is, are you focusing on the fallen timelines that are fully dissolving? Or are you focusing on the organic realities already here energetically? And we are here to really fully activate and make them happen. I mean, I'm already seeing many changes in my life. It's all aligning. Just some obviously final, you know, bigger shifts about to come online, which I can feel. I can feel that. And again, divine timing. I also need to have a lot of patience, believe me, people. So again, this is not, you know, nobody said this would be easy. So we need to also like, you know, kind of stand tall and strong, know it for what it is. I mean, the only way also to heal your trauma is by truly embracing it. Okay. This is not about saying, hey, get over it. No, not at all. You need to fully embrace it in the biggest gentleness, okay, that you can and that you have. Okay. If you don't, then it will always kind of be used against you. Okay. We need to bring it all up and out. We need to feel it to heal it. All right. That's very clear. No suppressing anyway. Okay. Anything is coming up now, it still needs to be healed. But just know it for what it is, and know that once it is healed, you will no longer be triggered by these drama-inducing kind of fear-mongering nonsense. Okay. Now, and I feel we are transcending this one here really quickly. All right. So keep thinking miracles, keep focusing on organic realities. It would be my tip. When you observe foreign realities, just dissolve them further from within a neutral 0-point field, or of course, after you've transcended your own remaining fears and triggers, okay? It's ultimately all serving you. There is nothing conspiring against us as such. Everything is ultimately all conspiring for us, even the conspiracies, all right? That's the ultimate conspiracy, all right? From my perspective. Now, yeah, and again, all of this comes ultimately back to self-love and dissolving all these false, reverse, limiting, iconic programming. Know it for what it is, throw it out, because once we love ourselves, we have so much self-worth. That's the abundance. They're like huge abundance, bliss keys, Edenic keys, Paradisian keys, ascension codes and keys coming online. There was one thing I wanted to say. Can't remember now. Oh, Christ, feminine and masculine Christ codes came online big today. Okay, so now after we shipped all of that, now it's really the true blueprints of our Christ itself. Okay, I mean, I feel massive shifts. I know it's been a lot of shit shifting, okay, but I really am feeling this is where a lot more fun is coming online. This is us trying out our superpowers. Another TV tip, Raising Dion. Really good. Dion, D-I-O-N. It's about a kid that has superpowers and the mom is raising it. So very activating, right? You know, everything synchronizing, everything aligning. So that's what we're going to bring online now. Again, it depends on where we are at. Okay. Have patience. We really need to shift this from negativity to positivity. Okay. The way we look at things. The negativity, the inbuilt negativity is really being used against us. It's what creates these negative realities. Okay. We have to kind of fake it till we make it to a certain degree, okay, of, again, overriding the realities. It doesn't mean that you deny anything. You just say, okay, this is how it looks like now, which is the past, remember? And then you are here to bring in the future once we have cleared the past from our DNA with all these hybrid codings, lower codings, reversals, and all this crap, okay, mutations within the DNA. It's clearing the past timelines or the fallen timelines, past and future. All right, it's quantum. And then now we get to really have fun with creating the future. All right, that's what I'm seeing. And self-love is the key, because that, again, activates the heart. It brings everything else online. And we are literally carrying the blueprints for cosmic ascension. Okay, this is affecting all races, all of the consciousness is totally being reset. And this was a full body reset, okay? And usually this would have taken months. And I can already feel tomorrow I'm going to be much better. It's totally shifting. So out there is the illusion, false matrix overlays, inserted, manipulated timelines that are now dissolving and collapsing. Know them for what they are. I would suggest not to be too dragged down with the circus. You know, save yourself a lot of energy, waste, but again, everything is perfect. Okay, we all have the experiences that we need to have in order to resolve this all for ourselves and everyone else. It's all good. And I can see people seeing right, left, and center through the corruption manipulation. So well done, everyone. Massive amount of people have woken up since November, especially ever since the nets come down. And again, this past week. And the net is the frequency net. And if that wasn't down, we wouldn't have been able to activate all the DNA strands and all that has been already happening. Okay, that's all I can say. And also all of the our higher identities now coming online, which is, again, all interconnected. As we switch on these DNA strands, our higher identities are coming online, which are all us. We are deities, okay? So we're not waiting for everyone to come and save us. We're the ones who are going to bring this online, to come online in our realities, okay? Oh yeah, and one thing also of the whole clearing is that, where was it? That got definitely too many notes. I could literally sit here for days and days, and I'm not going to do this to myself or you guys. Basically, all the symbolism, the demonic energetic imprints on satanic symbolism, okay, it's all lifting. So again, we need to think all new, all fresh. Okay, don't let anything, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a sacred geometry or some satanistic symbolism or some event, none of this is more power than we have, unless we give it to it, unless we believe it to be so. Okay, that's where we're at now, because we're the super empaths. We are now overriding the lower frequencies. Okay, we are stronger than those psychopathic narcissists. We are collapsing all of this false programming from within us, and divine love for ourselves is literally the key. Also to our abundance, to our freedom, it's all interlinked. And God is love. Okay, it all comes back to love. And I really see this is what the whole solar flare or event is also about. It's a supernova of the heart. I can feel our hearts are getting ready for it. And I can see the crystalline core of, and the heart of Gaia is ready for it. So look at things, so stop taking things so literal and personally, you know, like symbolism, all of that. Look at it in a way of symbolism, an abstract or an archetypal way, as in, you know, when you see something, try to see what is the consciousness trying to tell me? What am I really observing here? Try to shift the way you look at things, because I'm telling you, what you're looking at will shift and change. That's just the quantum observer effect, okay? This is all about a change of perception, all right? It's like the same. Let's take an example. So for example, if I have, I'm broken up with an ex, or, an ex-partner of mine, I might still be angry towards or whatever. Once I really understand what has happened, so when I shift my perception from how could he do this to me to, now I get it. It's not about me, although it helped me heal my own, issues, but ultimately what he did was not about me. That's what heal things. It's not time. It's a shift in perception, ultimately. And that's what we're doing here collectively. All the trauma, all the karma, all the past, the false data, bad programming, it's all being wiped. All, everything, right? Mind wipe. That's what's happening, right? So that's also why sometimes we can't remember, or very in the now moment now, we're totally shifting to, the mind, the brain is supposed to be transmitter and receiver. It's not supposed to analyze it all, okay? It's supposed to have receive cognition, okay? It's not there to be a big brain to try and process all in there. You get me? So yeah, it's beyond, like analyzing things. So again, this is all part of a full blueprint reset, body, mind, soul, consciousness reset. The one consciousness resetting itself, okay, to the final moment. But as we're going through it, it's in bits and pieces, but this is already very quick as I can see it. And we don't feel the same anymore. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. I don't really care. Yes, of course I care how we got here, but you get me. It was all perfect in order for us to learn the lessons we needed to learn. It's a co-creation. Okay. So ultimately, nobody has done anything to us, although that has also happened. Okay. This is not about letting people get away with anything. Everybody's been held accountable. But yes, if they choose redemption, they will get rehabilitation. Why shouldn't we? I don't really get, from, again, in any now moment, you can totally shift, because ultimately it's about a shift in behavior, a change in the consciousness. That's all we really care about. I don't care about what anyone has ever done, or where they come from, or what I believe in, like ultimately, what they have done. It's about what we're choosing right now, always, okay? And everybody has the ability to change. So see the highest aspect of everybody, see everybody in the highest light, like make that pathway for them. Not that we try and influence anyone, but just allow for the possibility of people changing. I've seen it, because the more I change, I see people and things around me change, because this is how this works, okay? Not by trying to force or manipulate or control anything. So massive timeline shifts unfolding as the old gets purged for good and the new comes online. And we can also see this in the Schumann resonance chart, which has spiked up since just the activation on the 22nd. And I facilitated. Again, thank you everybody who's taken part. Thank you so much for the donations. If anybody wants to send a donation, I'm going to leave the comments and also to a couple more other links underneath here in the comment box on my YouTube, because that's really, if this helps what I'm sharing here and you would like to support me back, that would be great. I do appreciate all and any help, because this is at the moment still, I've been doing everything really on donation basis since the end of September, although this will shift now as well, because everything is changing and shifting. I'm going to get more organized as well with all of this. And the mission so far has been accomplished, because what needed to happen in that way as I was shown, but now everything is shifting, and my work will also shift, and I think everybody's work will shift a lot. The core stays the same, but maybe how we do things now, also cooperating and working with other people and so forth. So anyway, there have been powerful Schumann resonance spikes since the activation of the 22nd. These are all new programming coming online, a new consciousness, new activations also for the heart. I don't know if you've been feeling this. I mean, there have been so many activations going on. I'm not going to go through them all. Most noticeably, heart openings, activations, healings, third eye, pineal pituitary gland, also the higher heart mind coming in line. The lower chakras, a lot, clearing there, womb healing, also today to do with the cosmic egg, which is a layer around our light body, which is healing all these distortions, helping us, you know, return to our original source blueprint and healing all the lunar distortions and so forth. So this also is connected to the womb healing, and also a lot solar plexus, you know, sacral, clearing and upgrading here and coming online. This is also bringing our power and our creational abilities and manifestation powers now powerfully online. Okay, because again, we're here to manifest this. All right, that's what we came for. We are the architects, we're the creators, we are the gray lines, we are the magis, we are the solar dragon kings and queens. We have this all inbuilt in our DNA. Okay, and we're remembering now again how to do this and how to rock this world. Reclaiming our power. All right, nothing is more powerful than when we remember this. All right, so keep remembering the bigger picture. Chaos creates order. Okay, ultimately it's all upside down here, so keep remembering this. What helps a lot with the physical stuff, you know, I've been taking magnesium, MSM, you know, extra vitamins. Just really, we really need to look after ourselves. I had like daily baths, salt baths for the last few days. My body's just been so achy. Oh my goodness. So like all over body aches, like literally as if I've been running marathons. So yeah, that's a lot down for me on that level to the DNA upgrades. So yeah, things like massage, rest, nature, you know, all helps, but do move that energy through the body. I would say, even if it's sometimes just 10-20 minute walk, even if you don't feel like it, it sounds really helps move that stagnant energy through the body. Okay, like need to move it. I already talked about this. So again, think on new, because new belief systems, BS, belief systems, means new realities. Okay, so I hope you feel that we're getting ready for the final supernova of the sacred crystal heart. It's our heart, it's the heart within Gaia. I would feel this has a lot to do with the masculine and the emerald order return, the emerald heart activations I've been seeing, and they're continuing. Yeah, there's also more going on with the dove grid. For the people that know, I'm not going to go into this now, and I don't really have the maps to show this very well, but it's really a lot of the freedom codes that have to do with this, and really bringing, like, freeing the grids and clearing out any remaining seals and membranes. And it's, I've seen it happening today. Yeah, and I might talk to this about this a little bit another time, because it's still kind of in progress, and also because I want to wrap it up now. So there's definitely been a lot going on over the last 2 weeks on the grids, I can tell you that. Jesus. So trust the process, trust the plan, and make up your own mind above all. Okay, this is about sovereignty, knowing yourself as the oneness, but also being total sovereign. It's like, yes, you are another aspect of me, but you're also not me. Okay, I am me, but I'm also one of all, and I'm super interconnected, that you can't feel the separation anymore, but you also have a healthy sense of self. We need to have that. Okay, we need to have boundaries. We need to understand where one starts, another one begins, in that sense. Okay, whilst we're still interconnected, but we can't do it for other people. We can't drag them along. Okay, we can't make them see things. Everybody's self-responsibility. It's interdependency. Okay, we're sovereign, but also know ourselves as the interdependent with all other life forms. All right, but the way I see this going forward also is that we will be much more like kind of pod-like, as in we will have different communities, or also different, you know, maybe areas or planetary systems where, you know, you have just more kind of the soul groups that are reconnecting again, in order to, you know, because there's the reasons we are soul groups now, to also bring, you know, we will make a whole puzzle together with all these little puzzle pieces, and then together we can create a new earth project. Okay, that's what we came in here for. So, but we would still be all interacting with one another, but, you know, kind of being also more, I guess, with those of like mind together, which we have been missing a lot, I guess. Okay, but whilst we're also totally interconnected with everybody else. The separation leaves. And, you know, it's the same with people that have passed on. I mean, they're not dead. Energy doesn't die. All right. So I see that very much, you know, it's like kind of, we'll be more separate, but also more connected in a way. Like it's both ends, if that makes sense. And it's the same with the unity consciousness. You know, it's like, but that's what it is. But it's, what was the other thing what I wanted to say? Not unity consciousness. Oh yeah, the law of one. Because somebody was saying about an AI hive mind, you know, because we had before the kind of telepathic, the artificial hive mind net, okay, that's been taken down. And it basically, you know, works like an AI net, a little bit like, you know, the Borg in Starship Enterprise, for those that know it. So you have, you know, it's a very artificial hive mind. You don't have your own identity. And this is not where we are, okay, going and what's happening now, what's being rebirthed as one. It's, we're all part of the one consciousness. We're all having access to the one consciousness, okay, but we still have our own consciousness. It's the same as you would be able to have telepathic communication with another person, but they need to have that with you as well, okay? They can't just like invade your thoughts as such, all right? But you would be, for example, if it would come to any kind of disagreements, you would be able to read the truth, okay, through another person's field. And all of these things, I believe, are going to become very organic. Please also, when you're imagining, please think organic. Please don't think more technology that solves all our problems, because that's really the artificial timeline. So just think about that. So for example, med beds, the way I'm seeing them is, it's crystalline technology. It's a crystalline healing pod. It's not what they're showing out there. You know, there are a lot of distorted timelines being run out there. Just be very aware, right? I might talk about it some other time if we still have to. But just know it all for what it is, okay? Feel into it, what feels good. Think organic realities and not more technology. We're getting rid of AI, all right? Sorry, AI. You will become organic, I promise. So, the one consciousness, it's all merged back as one energetically, okay? This is divine union. This is ascension. I can feel it within myself. It's the Holy Trinity within us. It's divine masculine, feminine, divine child. Now rebirthed as one. We are in that literally. We are in the birth stage push out. Like I feel myself as in like the last few days, it was like, I'm in a mushy cocoon right now, but I'm about to, you know, take off. Like our wings, it's another thing, wing healing, like we do have wings, you know, but they've been severed. So there've been wing trauma. We've been healing that as well, a lot of us, and we are ready to fly. As I said, what I see, superpowers coming online now, and much to do with the DNA activations. And I could really feel over the last days as well, oh my God, the super multidimensional merge that's happening within me as my own multidimensional self, but also of all the timeline and realities. Wow, just super intense. Like that must be a little bit what schizophrenics feel like, because it's like all these different realities and awarenesses at once, but I kind of needed to keep busy to not actually be aware too much of what was going on in a really weird way, because it was just, I know like it's all happening energetically, but if I would be too aware of all this crazy, you know, energy and consciousness reorganizing and merging itself, you'd go a little bit doolally. So I just, you know, distracted myself a little bit throughout that. Yeah, and that also made it a little bit hard to relax, definitely. But it's again better since today, and already yesterday shifted. So today was in my UTC European time, would have been today, Friday. Okay, and it started to shift since Thursday. So a lot of light code streaming it. I'm going to stop now because obviously I'm getting tired and this has gone on for too long. Not too long, but long enough. that's obviously all, personal preference. Some people, I guess, like hearing me speak. Other people probably can't sit through it all. So, as I said, all the interference is lifting now, okay? And, oh yeah, okay. So part of that also is the dark matter, or, the Russia body is also called purification and upgrades, which is basically giving the instruction sets to the physical body, okay? So it's like matter and antimatter really merging. And it's also especially connected with the black goo, and black goo is really AI components. So what we've also been really, it's all clear, okay? It's AI materials, AI signals, nanobots, nanotech, nanodust, okay? All clearing. And also through the cosmic egg, which is healing all of these distortions within our auric field. Okay, this is also connected then to the transduction sequence and what, the fetal cells that are at the at our coccyx, okay, that are holding or have now really released our true transduction records, because we've been shifting. The old has been deleted and now the new is really coming online. So I really felt that like kind of activating. And again, it depends where each person is at, of what, what part of the process might be happening. So I will leave it at that. I think, and one more notice, like the last few days, is really like all that try to like push this whole drama thing. I really felt so calm. It was so calm before the storm. No, within the storm, because we're in the storm already. I mean, it's done, we're in it. This is it, right? It's all already happening. Okay, this is disclosure. This is the awakening. This is the event. This is already happening. Again, it depends on perception. I'm not making it up. Okay, this is my perception. This is what I'm being shown. It's already happening. All right. Again, this made all look a little bit different than before it may go. So, I mean, at some point we will have had enough with the drama. Okay, when we healed our trauma, we will not fall for the drama anymore. And that's when we know we're done. And I think we're there now, because our star seeds, okay, never mind other people, okay, our star seeds, most of us didn't fall for it this time, as I could perceive. Of course, we're all a bit, because we want to see good realities, but again, it has to come up and out to be purged, okay? Very predictable, all of this. So ultimately, it's the perfect sign. It's a great confirmation of what's happening. Okay, it's just upside down here. All right. So oh yeah, and one last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm really going to stop now because there's still more notes, is the white doves and the rainbow banner that I saw happening during the activation on the 22nd. So I really saw the grids, and I saw like doves everywhere throughout the grids, and then one group of them with a rainbow banner. And that also means when you see doves on, it's kind of on a battlefield, it's like kind of the sign of victory, okay, on the battlefield, which for sure it was. I mean, we just had loads of victories, and obviously also some funky stuff happening, but generally, again, this is done, but these are just the final battles that are taking place. But it's also signaling the doves, which is also connected to the dove grid, okay, with the full spectrum of the 12 to 15D frequencies running through the grid system. So it's called also running rainbow rounds, and it's also called a Kunda ray. So that was just another confirmation of that happening at a planetary level. Okay, so that's all I can see. This is a full consciousness reset. The old programming is overwritten, re-encrypted. We are all here part of making it happen. So throw out all the shitty programming, all this iconic nonsense, okay, all these thought forms, they're not serving anymore. I mean, it's literally happening through our DNA, because that's holding our consciousness in the instruction sets, okay, because instruction sets for the consciousness are the instruction sets for a morphogenetic field. They is what give the coordinates to kind of the body of, how we are manifesting. So it's all shifting, it's all changing, massive crystallization process happening, the healing of blood, and especially fascia, bones, and skin is where this is held. So, but this is also happening within the planet. So take it easy, look after yourself, okay? I We'll see how much more I can share of my notes over the coming days. But anyway, you know it all, okay? All the answers you seek are truly within you. This is such a big time, and always, because this is what this is all about. You are the only one who knows really the answers to what you're seeking, okay? Your own instruction sets, coordinates, your mission, what you're here to do, who you are, your memories. You are here to bring it online, because as we bring this online within us, this goes out to the tribes, to the collective, okay? It's connected to the grid network, to the crystalline diamond grid network that is unlocking all the memories, the true history of humanity through and within us and within our DNA. All right, and also huge plasma body activations. So it's all clearing, it's all coming online, but now the focus is more on bringing the new online. Let the old collapse, know it for what it is, okay, and it will collapse very easily and gracefully now. All right, no more drama, no more pain, peace of mind. This is what we're after. It all starts within, as we all know. Now, let's walk the walk, not just talk the talk, okay? Be the change you want to see in the world. I know I say it often, but I don't think we can ever say this enough. So let's clear all these false spiritual beliefs. That's another big theme, all right? The whole polarity of right, wrong, good, bad, whether to eat meat, whether to drink alcohol, not, whatever it may be, okay? Make up your own mind, your own gnosis. There's no right or wrong. Everybody's different. Just don't harm anyone. Don't be an asshole. Be compassionate, but also don't be a walkover. It's all of these things, okay? Multidimensional embodiment. Now, next level. Let's bring our superpowers online. Let's do this. All right, let's walk through the gates all the way. And let's bring this baby home, because it's time. All right, out of time and no time. Now, love you all. So much love and blessings. And I talk to you soon. Bye.